why beauty matters and why it is really important to humanity. Because if you're asked how humanity started, where is the proof of human existence, like maybe 50,000 year or 1 lakh year back? So if you want to differentiate humanity, you will go back to the prehistoric caves where human used to live in the caves. But if you find out two different caves, then how can you decide this cave is where humans used to reside and here animals used to reside? Then there is a big differentiator, that is the tools created by us, like beautifully polished, created triangular or teardrop shaped tools like spear or something like that. And then the most important sign of humanity is the painting done by humans in their cave. So basically, the urge to express, to replicate nature is in humans since prehistoric time. And this is where our culture started. So, our culture started by replicating, duplicating, projecting the nature from the cave that migrated when we started doing agriculture. We started painting, carving, creating temples, nice woodwork, metalwork. We started creating huge pyramids, huge temples, huge mosques or churches because that is our desire. And initially, the art was in service of religion. Later on, it became individualistic. And after that, people started using art for meaningful causes. When the art was controlled by kings or priests, that time artists used to carve god and goddesses and apsaras or normal human beings having celebration, making love, fighting, dancing. Even our gods were dancing, and people painted them in so beautiful way. They carved the nice jewelry, good flowers. Why? Because the celebration is the nature of human, and we are the race that truly appreciate beauty because we like things in a certain way. So beauty is not something alien, it's a part of us. And the urge of male or female to decorate themselves, to apply lipstick or foundation, is within them. So we should not shame someone just because he or she wants to dress up in a certain way or he or she want to dress up more. They might be maximalist, you might be a minimalist, but you should not mistake somebody celebrating herself with a religion or with a culture. And if you want to compare, then our culture is maximalist culture. In our culture, women decked up from the top to bottom. They use flowers, they use jewelry, they use chandan, they use perfume. So many things are part of Sola Shringar, and that is detailed in our books. Even if you study Kama Sutra, except that typical thing, Kama Sutra is very huge. You will find out beautiful description of Shringara and so many things. Even our gods' body parts were beautifully described. Megh Sham, Ajana Bahu, Karpura Gaur. So beautiful words. So if somebody is celebrating, we need to cheer up, we need to root for that person because that person brings value in our life. If you see something beautiful and if you stop, admire that beauty, that's a sign of humanity. Because imagination, cooperation, that is what made us, brought us here. And if you lack that imagination, if you are not moved by a person's beauty, if you are not moved by the rain, then who are you? Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore rightly said, beauty is the truth's smile. And even our scripture says, Satyam Shivam Sundaram. Truth, compassion, and beauty are three faces of humanity. And our philosophy celebrates beauty. Beauty is in the nature, beauty is nature's rhythm. Yes, everybody is having different definitions of beauty, and one should respect that. Just a small story I would like to share with you. In the period of World War II, Hitler invaded France, and French people were scared that he will ruin their culture. When he was close to Paris, people from Paris, they surrender and they requested, please do not touch or destroy our monuments, our sculptures, our culture. Because to tell you, if you destroy temples, if you destroy paintings, what will remain back? If you do not have scriptures, if you do not have poetry, if you do not have drama, if you don't have nice heritage monument, what is there to claim as your culture? So the beauty is in your culture, and culture is what makes you unique, and our uniqueness is within us, that reflects in our art, and over the generation, next generation says this is our culture and they become proud of us. So before, if you make any judgment, please study literature, art, dance, theater, temples, heritage monument, and then I'm sure you will not blame others, because introspection is very, very important. Even Kalidasa also said, only that person will know the true importance of her whose eyes can recognize her beauty. So, to understand someone's worth, you need to have open eyes. You need to respect that person, and to respect that person is to appreciate that person, and to appreciate that person is through physical appearance, then the way that person talks and the acts of that person. So that's why before judging anyone, you can check that person holistically, and then definitely you will find out a good friend. Unfortunately, in our schools, have we ever read a poetry of Kalidas? Have you ever heard about Amarut Shatak? Have you ever heard about poetry written by Maharashtrian women from ordinary background 2000 years back? Are you aware about Gatha Saptashati? I bet 99% people are not aware about that. There might be exception, but this is our heritage and we need to claim that. Because if you haven't taught that in school, if you haven't visited Ajanta, Ellora, Khajuraho, Belur Halebedu, and if you aren't proud of that sculpture, because then we are falling prey to the propaganda of the society that want to control our minds and that want us to push against each other, like males are rooting against females or female are fighting against male, because female want freedom and men want to control females. That is not the right thing. We need to say beautiful things in each other, and to do that we need to understand ourselves first. And this is the job of your parent, of your school, of the society. And if they are not doing it, then that's a very bad thing, because to create a good society we need good parenting, good education, and that's how there will be a safe society. Because of that, the amount of rape will be lessened, because lot of time men comment that because of her dress people are instigated to do rape. No, Indian tradition of costumes were very different. Women from different area, maybe because of the climate, humidity, they used to drape differently. So it's not about clothing, it's about upbringing, it's about culture at home, culture in your village, culture in your city. Another two interesting fact I'll tell you, which are like really funny basically. Like men from the prehistoric era, they used to paint beautiful pictures in their caves. Then they started doing intricate designing in agriculture era. Current generation, we are using AI to create beautiful pictures, and AI is helping us to create unending infinite way to make our fantasy into reality. But if you see what people are creating, you will see that we like to see another human being in a beautiful way in front of us, because whatever you may call yourself, within us we are human, we are social animal, and we would like to see another human being, beautiful, ideal, in front of us, be it our god, be our heroes, be our leaders, we want them to look very beautiful, because beauty is the benchmark in every field. We want them to look in a certain way, and that is our standard, because beauty is a part of nature. Another interesting story I want to tell you: whoever was the king or queen who fought war, who killed thousands and lakhs or millions of people, at the end of the war, they spent millions or billions of rupees into resurrection, in construction, and creating beautiful monuments, paintings, sculptures, temples, heritage houses, huge palaces. Why? Because they want a legacy to be left behind them, not only for their sons and daughters, but for their subjects, for their state, for their country, because they knew that is the sign to make them immortal. Be it France, India, Cambodia, Egypt, everywhere you will find out amazing monument, and that is the quest to worship beauty. So whatever aim you are having, whatever career you are having, ultimately you would like to see something nice, whether it's a nature, whether it's a human being, whether it's jewelry, whether to do makeup or hairstyle or buy good clothes. Anything and everything is related to beauty, be it physical, internal, whatever. Because we cannot live without beauty. Even though you're working in a very bad area or living in a slum area, that is because of compulsion, that is because of financial issues. But everybody wants to breathe freely, everybody wants to drape nicely, everybody wants to relax, and that is a sign of a human craving for natural balance, and the balance is only attained by beauty. And I rest my case, guys. Next is up to you. I hope whatever I said with my experience, with my perspective, might resonate with you. If you would like to share your point of view, please comment below and support our channel, because we have decided to bring out that we feel truly and deeply, honestly. We want to share that with you. And please like, share, so that we can create more videos, we can be useful to you. Thank you.